fastest show in sports.
Number 3 is again an example of what happens when you win. Because it's obvious that as you look at the teams that are really hated anymore in the NFL, it doesn't come down to losers. That's another entire list that we put together, the top 5 teams that you have to have pity for. I mean, and there's a couple of teams over there that used to be the most hated teams in the NFL. Not anymore. You kind of go, okay, they're there and they're not that good. But if we look at number 3 on the list of the top 5 most hated teams in the National Football League, this one is another one that's simple. The Philadelphia Eagles. Look, and here we got to talk to Eagles fans for a minute. I know you folks are rabid about your team. I've been to games in Philadelphia. I've covered games there. People in Philadelphia are bonkers nuts for the Eagles, and well, they should be. But even if you're a fan of the Eagles, you and I both know that 9 times out of 10, if you talk to anybody over the age of 40 maybe, or 50, the first thing that comes to their mind is, where's Santa Claus? I mean, that is true. Kansas City is one of those teams that you hate because of what they've done now. Philadelphia is one of those teams that you hate because they still live with that stigma of people basically throwing snowballs at Santa Claus in a game, 350 years ago? But look, if you're an Eagles fan, there's no reason to hate the Eagles. I mean, they deliver. But people hate them because they're winners, because they're Super Bowl champions. Well, we're Super Bowl champions. But you can't hate them all the time because you still got to go to the cheesesteaks. I mean, look, and this is something else I got to tell you. I am not a big fan of Cheez Whiz. I'll be honest with you. I know that a cheesesteak, if you get down to the real nitty-gritty of the cheesesteak, it's made with Cheez Whiz. Have you seen what's in the Cheez Whiz? Have you looked at the jar? Holy crap in the morning, this is stuff that's nuclear. I mean, if you took 100 bottles of Cheez Whiz, stashed it away for 100 years, and a nuclear bomb wiped out the planet, guess what? The Cheez Whiz would survive. It would be the only food. Well, maybe not the only food. There's a few others I can think of. Maybe like chips or something like that. Salsa, who knows. But Cheez Whiz? I can't touch it. I can't. I know it's not a traditional cheesesteak at that point, but I love a cheesesteak, and I love it with real melted cheese on it. Real cheese. I mean, maybe we can move away from the Cheez Whiz and go to real cheese one of these days. Is that possible? But see, that's another thing, too. You've got people around the National Football League who love their cheesesteaks, but they hate the Eagles because they just hate Philadelphia. And even Philadelphia fans have to admit that every now and then you do go overboard. And again, I'm not hammering. This is not a blanket indictment of the Eagles by any stretch of the imagination, but you do have to admit that every now and then you do go a little bit overboard, and that's why people hate you. But they also hate you again because you win. And that's the great thing about the Eagles. They're a winning franchise. They're a well-run franchise right now. They're a franchise that they lost. They didn't get in the Super Bowl this year, but there's no reason to think they won't be back next year. But the Eagles, seething hate. As a matter of fact, you can even think about it in their same division. Those are the teams that really hate them. Why? Because they beat the snot out of them anymore on a regular basis. There's nobody else in that division that really comes up close to the Eagles every single season. Well, in recent seasons, of course. And things will change, and one day the Eagles won't be the best team in that division. But for now, absolutely frighteningly hated. I don't hate you, Philadelphia. I don't. I hate Cheez Whiz. So, I mean, if that's something that sets me apart and has me on the hate list, I get it. I'll accept it. Now, if anybody wants to send me, 10 cheesesteaks that are made with cheese, real cheese, if you want to go ahead and send me an email and let me know, I'll get you an address to send it to, okay? Well, it won't be my address. It'll be someplace else. Because after what I say some things about these teams during the season, I don't want anybody to know where this studio is at. I'd be very happy with that. Fans around the NFL hate the Eagles. But the Eagles fans, they go ahead. Go ahead, tough guy, bring it on. We're the Eagles. We can take it. And oh yeah, by the way, we always have a lot of snowballs handy just in case.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.